We are in chapter 16, verse 9. In his heart a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. All right, I want things, and I design the way I think it's going to go. Doesn't happen that way. I thought I would go and become a computer scientist. Didn't happen that way. Thought I'd probably get married before the age of 39. Didn't happen that way. I didn't realize I would have a special needs son. Did not happen that way. But this is the way God wanted it to be, and it's been better. It's been better than my plans. Sometimes I have designs and God has them happen, but again, he does it in a way which is according to his design, which is, again, better than my plans. And so it's okay to desire things, to go ahead and look for, I can do this, I can do this, and I can do this. But we should at the same time realize that God may shift things, not try to kind of lock them in, but allow God to work through our lives to change our course so we don't have to be like Jonah, swallowed by a fish and spat up on the shore so we go the right way. 10. The lips of a king speak as an oracle, and his mouth should not betray justice. So a king judges cases. He judges things put before him. He tries to determine what is good for his land and just. And so Solomon is saying a king should speak with the predictive capability of a true prophet, an oracle. That when he needs wisdom to determine, is this person telling the truth or this person telling the truth? As Solomon demonstrated with the two women who brought the son, and he said, cut the baby in half. He also needs wisdom to know what will be good for his kingdom. Should we have a public project, or should we reduce taxes? Should we, expand or contract government in modern terms? So the king speaks as an oracle. He is the one who people are going to listen to for how they're going to design the route the nation is on. And so if you're going to be the one who gives people the guidance on their lives, then you have to do the second part. You should not betray justice with your mouth. You shouldn't lie and deceive. You shouldn't seek for your own self-interest. You shouldn't weigh favorably for some and disfavorably for others without cause. So the king, since he is going to be the predictor of what is to come, and he is the builder of the future, wants to build that future on justice, on doing things properly in the right, God-pleasing way. And the same goes for fathers and families. You're the head of the household. You're the one who's designated where the household goes. You want to speak truth and in a just way. Okay? 11. Honest scales and balances are from the Lord. When you measure something out and you measure the other side and the two are equal, that pleases God. You're being fair and right. All the weights in the bag are of his making. Ultimately, all gifts come from God. I have received what God has desired for me. You have received what he has desired for you. We've been given the gifts from him that he has given to each of us. And so now when we exchange those things, God is the one who has determined that we have this to exchange and that to exchange, knowing that the two will be exchanged. So since you have been given the gifts by God, and he's been given the gifts by God, it is pleasing to God if the exchange is proper and balanced, not if one of you cheats by changing and using false weights. You see, God created everything. 12. Kings detest wrongdoing, for a throne is established through righteousness. Okay? Properly, kings detest wrongdoing. And every breaking of the law is an offense against the authority that God has given that king. And every breaking of the law tends to lead to a destruction in the society that the king has been tasked with watching over. So if you have a righteous realm, a realm built on the design of God, built to do good to neighbors, then the throne is strong and firm. The kingdom's a good place. Our synodical president in the LCMS once said that Lutherans produce good citizens. And we do. We produce good citizens because we come with fear of the Lord to this revelation, his Bible, and there we find good ways, righteous ways to live. And as good citizens, that's the foundation for society. Parents who teach their children and bring them up to do what is good, to respect the authority of police officers, to, in modern terms, this is very important, to watch out for the good of our neighbors' property and wealth. All of these things are good, and they make for a firm and a good nation, firm and a good state, firm and good city, because our acts of righteousness undergird the authority of those who are in charge. 13. Kings take pleasure in honest lips. They value a man who speaks the truth. During one time in the Roman Empire, there was a truth speaker who would wander around with the king, and everybody else might, suck up. But he would always say, or was supposed to always say, just the plain truth, not get in trouble for doing so. And this is the thing with kings, is you've got this whole group of people who want you to do stuff for them, and they think if they say nice things to you, then you'll do nice things for them. But a king is trying to make wise decisions, at least a good king. And so he needs good sources of information. How can you decide what to do about COVID-19 if those around you are not speaking truth? But if you just tell the truth bluntly and let the cards fall where they may, a wise king will value your advice, right? Because this is a person who can help him to do what is right for his people and do right in God's sight. 13. A king's wrath is a messenger of death, but a wise man will appease it. So if a king gets mad at you, I think that's obvious. If you want to pass a class, you don't make the prof angry. If you want to do well at work, don't get on the bad side of your boss. And so if you see the king is angry, then you do what you can to make the king not be angry. If you see mom is angry, you walk lightly and you do what makes her happy. And then her anger goes away and life is better. Pretty simple there. Let's close with 15. When a king's face brightens, it means life. His favor is like a rain cloud in spring. So a happy king, a king who's looking upon you as a good citizen, someone he loves, is going to reward you and make your life better. We call some of this that's done improperly, crony capitalism, where people give money to the government and the government gets happy with them and showers money back. And I will tell you, those who are good at crony capitalism have gotten very, very wealthy because the government tends to accumulate money and then it can just spread it out. So if you have a king who likes you, you're going to do really well. The time of Henry Tudor, Henry VIII, anyone who was on his good side became incredibly wealthy. Now, from a good perspective, this means, rather than those which tend to be corrupt perspectives, this means if you're on your boss's good side because you're doing well, then your boss is probably going to give you more hours and promote you. If you're in your parents' delight, you're going to have some better vacations and you're going to do trips and things that you're going to enjoy. So there is a positive way to look at this as well as the corrupt version. All right, we're going to close there. Next time we will start with 1616.